All right, guys, here we go. We have the DBX compressor Shootout. It is dirty, it's gritty, it makes your drums massive. I've been using this compressor for a minute, but I started with the Waves, and the Waves DBX 160 has like a real magic to it, and this is like the setting. Always, man, just go to this BD room with a view, and then you just dial it in from there. But if you start with this, man, this thing sounds so good. It legitimately just slams your drums. It's a really good plugin. And that started my love affair. Everyone else is, you know, gushing over the smooth SSLs, you know, whatever, man. I like some dirty funk compression, and that's what the DBX does. If you're trying to do some funk, some metal, you know, anything grungy, dirty, rock, heavy, you get the picture. And in honor of that, I made this dirty funk beat just for this Shootout. That's that dirty funk, man. I probably put that beat together in like 15 minutes. So real quick history of the DBX 160 is a dynamic range compressor. It's a VCA compressor. It was introduced in the mid 70s, I think. So I did try to match these as best as possible with the Grey, but it's going to be a little bit difficult because, for example, this Grey offers so many more options versus the UAD, you know, which that's it. That's all the options that it offers. All right, so let's meet our contenders, man. Like I said, we have that Waves DBX. This is a classic. You can throw this on anything. It's going to sound great. Up next, we have the dbX Smack from CUPWISE. This is a third-party Acustica developer. Again, Acustica Audio basically samples the real hardware. So it's not just a, you know, software emulation. It's not just zeros and ones and code, because this is an original Nebula plugin. Up next, we have the Comp VCA-65. Again, that's going to be the 165 rather than the 160 from Arturia. I don't know the exact difference between those two models, but up next, we have this lovely piece of work. Well, first of all, BYOD is kind of like an impulse loader, but it's more than just an impulse loader. It's similar to Acustica. You can load in these samples of hardware. This is another Acustica. Again, this is Acustica Nebula. I believe this is Tim Petherick. Again, this is a third-party developer. It's excellent. Up next, we have the UAD DBX. I'm going to be honest, it's not my favorite. I love a lot of Universal Audio stuff. I know it doesn't sound like it because I kind of Universal Audio on the last Shootout too. The next thing we have is the dbComp from Analog Obsession. These are very cheap or essentially free. You just have to join his Patreon, you know, which I don't know, it might be like $5 a month or something. And then you can download all his plugins, and he makes some really good stuff, no doubt. Up next, we have the Beast. We have the Warwick for Arcane fans. We have the Warwick of DBX compressors. This is Grey. Those are the contenders. Who's going to win it? Of course, you know, something like this, there might not be a clear winner, but there probably will be at least a couple clear losers. Okay, and we're going to start with the drums. All right, here we go. All right, based on that, I'm liking number 1, number 3, number 4, and number 8, and number 9. And then like kind of in the middle, it's interesting. The compressor like brings out different characteristics of the drum loop. It brings out too much of the reverb on some of these tracks here in the middle in kind of a bad way. It's like accentuating or distorting the reverb. 9 has a lot of that reverb, but it's good. In my opinion, number 7 is the worst. I think is number 1 and number 4, I think are the best right now. Number 3 is also excellent. Number 6 and number 7 are the worst. Both number 8 and number 9 are questionable. They're both really good. But what do you guys think? Let me know which sounds the best in the comments below right now. Don't cheat. Don't put your answer after I reveal. Tell me right now which of those sounded the best to you. And if you can't tell the difference, put on some good headphones. Don't listen on your phone, for Christ's sake. So let's do the reveal. Number 1, the DBX 160 from Waves. Just a badass compressor, and no big surprise. That took one of my top spots. Oh, did I tell you guys? There's a ringer in this shootout. One of these tracks has no compressor at all. Track 2 has no compressor. 3 I really liked a lot, and that is DBX Smack from CUPWISE. Excellent compressor from Acustica Nebula. Number 4 was the Arturia. Actually, this is one of the ones that I chose as the best. I'm surprised, actually. On these drums, this Arturia is killing it. So up next, we have the BYOD. This is number 5. 5 I thought was pretty good. So this wasn't my favorite, but it wasn't the worst either. It's kind of in the middle. Number 6, this is one of the worst. That's surprising. This is the Acustica Nebula N60. Again, this was the worst. I hate to keep throwing shade on Universal Audio, man, because I did in my last shootout too. Yeah, this was my least favorite. It was number 7. The next one is number 8, which I did like. I did like this one. This is, again, Analog Obsession. This is virtually a free plugin. You just have to join his Patreon. This one was really good, too. Then lastly, I did like the Grey a lot, for sure. This has so many settings that I could get really any sound from this compressor if I really took the time to dial it in. I'm sorry, the Waves DBX kills the Universal Audio. And that's blasphemy. That's going to be total blasphemy to some people, but listen to it. Tell me I'm wrong. All right, so that's that one, man. Let's move on. Let's get to the basses. All right, again, we have 9 different tracks here. One of them is a ringer. One of them has no compression whatsoever. So my favorites, honestly, are, I thought 5, 6, 7, and 9 were really the best. 1 and 2 were really good as well. 3 wasn't bad. I was not a fan of 4. I wasn't the biggest fan of 8. They're all pretty good, though. I would say the order is 7, 2, and 5. I'd say 7 is the best. Man, I hope I didn't choose the ringer. Let's see who wins. Number 1 is the dbComp from Analog Obsession. Again, I like that one. And it's essentially free. Number 2 is, again, Waves DBX 160. This thing is a winner, bro. That was one of my favorites. Number 3, I didn't like as much, and that is the BYOD. Again, there's no control. Number 4 is the Arturia. Yep, didn't do too well on the bass. Number 5, I said I liked pretty well. Oh, well, okay. That has nothing, again, but some of these samples, some of these loops are already pretty well processed. So it wasn't my favorite. Number 6, I liked a lot, and that is the Acustica Nebula N60. And this was my number 1. This is the beast. This is the Acustica Grey. This is my number one. 8 was not my favorite. Again, it's the UAD DBX. I didn't hate it though. And I did very much like 9 as well. And there you go. It's the Acustica Audio Smack VU. That's that. Now we're going to just go ahead and throw that on the master. DBX is not known as being a mastering compressor, but for like a funk track or something that is aggressive or gritty, you can certainly use it. There's no rules, man. You do whatever sounds good. And actually, I think this sounds great on the master. Okay. And for the anal OCD people out there, this is just a visual representation. The actual effects processors are on the master bus, and they're being automated for each of these measures. All right, here we go, man. This is going to be fun. This is the final shootout on the master. Let's see who's going to win it. It's a party up in here. So tell me what track you think won it in the comments below. My favorite was number 3. All right, man, it's time for that big reveal. Drum roll. So comp 1 was the Arturia, and I did like this one a lot. I like number 1 a lot. Comp number 2. Oh, comp number 2 was actually the Grey. You see, I don't know this stuff, guys. I did not know which is which because I mixed them all up. I mixed all these compressors up on each of these tracks. Grey 2. On the 2, I mean, I did like 2 a lot as well. Here you go, man. That's proof. That's proof that, like, I don't know which of these tracks is which. Again, DBX is not known as being like a mix bus compressor or a mastering compressor. So I got to just go with the results. I said I like 3 the best. Now, there's no compression on there at all. Of course, I chose the DBX on the bass and the drums over the non-affected track. But this time the ringer got me. The ringer got me. It's okay. It's cool. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. You know, maybe the DBX just isn't meant to be on the master bus in every situation. But I did like it. Again, let's see. Well, let's just continue on. The other one that I really liked was the 8. 8 and the 3 were basically like neck and neck. And then 5 was really good as well, right? So number 4, I said sounded phasey. So number 4 is the Analog Obsession dbComp. That makes sense to me. It sounds like there's something happening weird with the phase correlation. You know, that's not mastering grade, this dbComp. It's basically a free plugin. We said number 5 was one of my favorites. It was like, I said it was 3rd place. You know, after no compression at all on the mix bus. That's fine though. There you go. And that is the Acustica Nebula N60. It's a wild ride, man. It's a roller coaster. You never know what's going to happen with these shootouts, you know, but you got to keep it real. But I really like this one. This, I said, was like the 3rd place. And that is, again, the Acustica Nebula N60. That should be from Tim Petherick, something like that. Who's an excellent third-party developer. And then this is going to be number 6. What did I say about number 6? I don't think I was that impressed with number 6. Oh, that's going to be the Smack VU. Number 7, what did I say about number 7? I said number 7 was constricted sounding. Again, this is the BYOD. You know, it's just an individual sample of a hardware unit at one instance, you know, basically whatever setting they had it. So it's not very dynamic. You can't really change anything. So again, that's not really too surprising. And this was my favorite, other than no compression on the mix bus at all, which really was my favorite. But other than that, again, this thing just kills it, bro. Some of these plugins are really expensive. And Waves is quite affordable. So all you Waves haters, man, they have some great plugins, and this is one of them. This is what got me into the DBX. This is a badass DBX emulation. I don't even care if it sounds like the original hardware. Maybe it sounds better than the original hardware. The original hardware is wasn't even that expensive. But this is a badass plugin for your drums. Again, choose this preset right here and then just dial it into taste. This thing is gold. And I don't want to add on like a sour note, but I had already said that number 9 was not one of my favorites. And that is the DBX from Universal Audio. Step it up, Universal Audio. Waves is killing you, at least for DBX. Thank you all for watching. Till next time, let me know what you want to see next. I appreciate you guys.